morning everybody, and it's still early morning, but I thought I'd click the camera on. As you can see, Lily is wanting to make her way out, and I will get her out. But first of all, I want to discuss thermostats. There seems to be all sorts of, you should use this, you should use that, this is better, they're not as good, don't use them at all, and so on and so on. And personally, guys, for me, it isn't necessarily about the thermostat. It's about the fact that you actually use one that is more important. So I'm just going to show you the three that I have that all work perfectly fine. Of course, you know, I'll spin you around and I'll show you so that you can actually see. This, of course, is a microclimate, and this is a proportional one. And what that just means is it does maintain the heating to where it doesn't cool down too much, and it has like a continual flow of heat going on, no on off, which, you know, I must say, for heat panels, even lamps, these are perfect, because they're, even though they're different, they still have that ability to dim down your actual bulbs, and a little bit more energy saving as well to use. But I do use these for my heat panels. I use, you know, the microclimates, I use Thermostat. You know, I pick them up on special when they're on special, because they're very expensive, and they're a lot more expensive than your jump starts, as people call them. So that is, you know, what I use amongst the one that I actually have on Emmaus, which is easy to get to. Now, this is a no-name brand. I don't even know what the, apart from it's all dusty, that I got online for probably a third of the price that you're going to pay for Thermostat. And this is a day-night dimming thermostat, which I use for Emmaus for her, of course, bulbs that she's using. You know, at $43, you know, I didn't mind paying that for it at all. Then you've got jump starts, and again, a no-name brand at all, and this one was even cheaper again. This was like 23 Australian dollars, 23.24, and again works perfectly fine. And for heat mats, I find are just perfectly fine for them. This is a name brand, so to speak, Ecotech, which cost a little bit more money than this one. And what this has is the ability to heat two at the same time. This one only heats the one, though you could put a double adapter in and run two heat mats, two lamps off of it. So this one was, like I said, $25, and I think this one was like over the $50 mark, basically. But in honesty, I don't care what anybody uses in terms of their thermostats. The point is to use them. More importantly, and if you can only afford a $20 jump start, that is what I prefer you to use than saying, I can't afford proportional or dimming or whatever it is, they're just too expensive for me. Then buy one of these. So don't let anybody tell you, oh no, you've got to have this one and that's the best and all the rest of it. That is not what is important. Please use a thermostat. I don't care what it is. That is what is important. So Lily is using the same dimming as what Amaya has on hers, because Jack has a dimming, it can run on dimming, proportional. It has about 5 different settings that I can use, and that's an iStat, which cost me 100 Australian dollars. Of course, that's a Haberstat there, which is for his heat mat, which only goes on in the winter. No, it's otherwise not on at all. But let's get Miss Lily out, because I know that's what she's wanting to do. Of course. Coming out? Or should I even ask the question? Awful lot again. You know, at one point it was Jack. At the moment it seems to be Lily. That I tend to be doing a bit of videos with, because she is the one that is, you know, wanting to come out, and that is just the way it is. But I will spin you around and I will set this. I did put it on a tripod, and I'll bring Lily on over with me for a minute. It won't be a long video, because the main point of the video was to discuss, really, well, you're nice and warm, baby, nice and warm, was really to discuss the thermostats more than anything. I hear lots of discussions going on about them, and what is the best and so forth, as I said. And I really wanted to just kind of say to everybody, it doesn't matter. Yes, I agree, you know, the jump starts for the heat mats are perfectly fine. I know I do prefer the dimming and proportional to be much better for globes, and it will save you on globes blowing all the time, and we know that that happens a lot with globes. But and energy saving as well. And for heat panels, like I use for currently 4 of my snakes, I do have another enclosure with one in that will be utilised with some new snakes coming along. It's a bit big for them at the moment, but eventually it will be quite comfortable for one of them. But just to make the point more so, that you just make sure you do use one. And if, like I said, you can only afford a $20 jump start, then get that $20 jump start. And if you don't want to worry about thermostats at all, I have mentioned the heat pads that we would use for our humans that do not require a thermostat at all. And you can use them as underbelly heat and run it on the lowest temperature. It has 3 levels. Use it on number 1. And you don't need to have a thermostat, and they're safe. But make sure you get one with no auto shut off, because most, or some come with, you know, after 2 hours it will shut off. Well, you don't want that. So if you're going to buy a heat pad, not mat, heat pad, then get the one with no auto shut off. Snakes will do perfectly fine with that too. And they keep going for years and years and years, and they're not reptile associated, so you haven't got the price tag on them either. You know, anything reptile, oh, we double the price on that, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. But I try and use stuff from the hardware store and branches from out in the bush and, you know, so forth, and make my own things that I think my snakes could use. Bamboo poles, you know, you can do it quite cheaply, but it doesn't all have to be, you know, have a reptile name on it to be the best for your reptile. So guys, I hope that this helps somebody out there that is wondering what is the best and what shouldn't I use and so forth. It's not about what you shouldn't use, it's about that you should use. So you take care of yourself and your family and your friends and your snakes by using a thermostat for any form of heating them, except of course the heat pads I mentioned. Take care of all your animals. Ciao. Lily? Lily's not saying ciao at all. Lily is heading to where Lily heads, which is, oh, can't even see her yet. Oh, there she comes. Lily's going to head to the hangout spot and enjoy her day up there. Yesterday she was along here for a long time and then ended up curling up there for a long time. Eventually she came down and went a little bit lower, and later of course she has to go home, and that's when Lily does her sleeping, though she does do a bit of sleeping during the day too. Snakes sneak. They sneak, but they sleep. So guys, ciao again.